Cheers. Salud. It's the first episode where I'm actually drinking.
Hey, that's dope. This is with me. That's it's only right with me.
How are you though?
I'm well. I'm well at the moment.
Life is good at the moment?
Mm-hmm. Now, life has been a little changing lately.
Changed a little?
Yeah.
What's where does your story begin? Like where do you come from?
And I'm all Dade County. I'm from Miami. I'm Overtown to North Miami. My mother's from Overtown. My dad's from Tuskegee, Alabama. But everything about me is here for the most part as a kid. I'm an athlete. I grew up playing ball. My daddy was a coach. That's all he did. That's all we did was play ball all the time. And I was his only son. And he got 4 sisters and whatnot. So, I mean, for me, I was just your ordinary cat, young cat in Miami, man. I grew up in North Miami. Well, growing up in North Miami, there's a lot of Haitians in North Miami. But as a kid, you don't really, that doesn't dial in on you. For the most part, everyone just looks the same. For the most, just young and black. But I think I grew up around the era where it was like a big animosity thing between Americans and Haitians. It was.
You remember a time when it was like when Haitians didn't acknowledge the fact that they were Haitian, and then there was like a shift that happened?
Oh yeah, I remember, because you know what's so funny you say that, because I didn't really know who was Haitian until May 18th hit. May 18th is Haitian Flag Day, you feel me? And that's when all the Zoos come out the closet. It was like, oh shit, I thought you was Jamaican, bro. I thought you was behaving or something, but nah, I mean, it was just, that's where, everything for me, just life. Most of my friends are Haitian, like most of my best friends are, from Haitian descent. And it's just, growing up in Miami, you can't really have no choice. But I'm a baseball player. I'm a former baseball player. That's my first.
I see. When you said ball, I'm automatically thought of basketball or football.
No, I'm a baseball player, man. My daddy was country as hell. So his thing was seeing a young black dude play baseball was just everything to him. So he had his son. That's what I did. I played baseball. But I played baseball everywhere.
Did he play too before he?
My dad didn't play baseball though. He played basketball. It was the funniest thing. I didn't like basketball. I still am not a big fan of basketball like that, but baseball and football was like key for me.
Did you ever want to be like pro with it, professional?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I played some college ball. I did. I played a lot. I mean, like up until maybe 5 years ago, I probably completely stopped because my shoulder got bad and it was just time I couldn't throw as much as I wanted to. But I pitched and played center field. But man, that was my first love. Like, I don't even know how everything else came into be, because I was definitely focused on baseball.
If you could go back and do your childhood over, do your life over, and you say, okay, well, you can be on the path that you're on now, or you can be a professional athlete and nothing else. Would you choose to be an athlete, a pro baseball player?
I would.
Man, that's real passion.
I would. I would.
Like, people ask me sometimes, because there's some people who only know me as a DJ. There's some people who only know me as a rapper. You know me as both, but they'll ask me like, well, if you had to choose between the two, I'd be like, it's not even a thought. Like, I would rap. I would say fuck DJing, because that's where my first passion always was. Like, I never wanted to be a DJ. I never thought I would be a DJ. This shit just kind of happened, like, out of nowhere.
I've been around here for a long time. For me, you just came out the blue. Like I knew all the DJs. I seen everyone, and I remember the day I saw you. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, I really was like, who the fuck is this guy? Yeah. Then I kept seeing you. I'm like, and I'm hearing you. I'm like, okay.
I mean, it was like, because I came, I spent so much of my childhood here, and then I left, and then I moved back to New York for like 10 years. And then I came back 2008, and I remember the first night I think I saw you or met you. Well, no, I think I saw you before I met you. And it was on 125th Street at that spot that, rest in peace, Will, the real one. I don't know, it was Flow Fridays or something that Ingrid was doing, and Will, right on 125th Street, close to like Dixie Highway or something, like a little, matter of fact, it was the same plaza where he got killed.
Okay, that plaza, okay. That was, because he stayed on 125th, so I was thinking like he was in a center, and he was in like the two-story joint, and then he was in that building right there. So okay, yeah.
That's the first time I remember hearing you, and you were the youngster, and I was like,
that's wild. I don't even remember you that time. That's a while ago.
I was there.
I was in college. That's what it was. I was in school in South Carolina.
Right, because you would leave and you would go and come back. Yeah.
I'm like 2008. I wasn't even this wasn't even home.
And I was like, just in the cut, I maybe would do a piece on the mic every now and then, but I really just wanted to kind of absorb the culture.
You were DJing then?
I just started. Like the only thing I was DJing at that point was Love Hate. That was it.
Fool, I just don't be talking to nobody. You was at Love Hate, we crossed paths plenty of times, just didn't know,
And then Ingrid let me DJ the Bohemia Room on Wednesday nights, and that was kind of like how I was able to do shit like every week consistently. You know what I'm saying? So, but I would always hear you on the mic. I'd be like, yo, like this motherfucker's dope. Like really. Because, me being a rapper, words are super important to me, what people say and everything. And, it's all poetry.
That's to you, though. You say being a rapper, like, everybody be caring about words.
Because I'm still, like, in the mind frame of, like, lyricism is everything. Words are everything. What you say, if you call yourself a spoken word artist or whatever, like, you got to be mindful of the words that you choose and what you say. And it was always something impactful about you. And I remember Ingrid always talking about the fact that you were so young. But it was like, but it's like you gifted with what you're saying and how you saying this shit. And it always like, you were one of the few that always stuck out to me from back then.
They used to, back in the day, they used to have me, cause I ain't had no car, I ain't had no license. Will used to pick me up. Larry Dog used to pick me up. It was Will, Larry Dog, and Razor. Those are three cats used to come to the crib and pick me up all the time. My mom was like, "How you always hanging out with these criminals?" Hey, but I mean, when I tell you, they just took me under their wing. But Will used to just have me at Funk Jazz Lounge on them Thursday nights out there.
See, I don't even know about that.
You don't even know about? Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, Funk Jazz, like you're not even too far from it. Funk Jazz was every Thursday night. Used to promote it on Hot 105. Like I was like a legit 17 years old, and I know you had to be 21 to get in this joint. But Rashida Bartley was the host.
Rashida, damn.
Rashida Bartley was the host. Will, Will is Will. Will like, this is my son, he good. And he just used to get me in all the time. I used to perform in front of all these grown ass people every night before I go back to school in the morning and stuff. But that was like my training ground. It was just a process, And I had just, it was like, me writing was like the only thing that no one forced me to do. You know what I'm saying? Like sports, my dad, he just play it. So, you kind of get accustomed to it. But me writing was just something that I just thoroughly enjoyed. He was an advocate on reading. Like I had like this big ass wall full of Britannicas and encyclopedias and children's encyclopedias and it was just right there. Like me getting in trouble was like, all right, so you gonna write the A's of the dictionary. Like, so I grew up like 7, 8 years old, like getting in trouble all the time, man. After a while, he just got tired of beating me because, hell, I'm just got immune to an ass whooping. So now he's sitting me down, I'm writing. I'm like, A, Avar, Art Wolf. And I had to like really just go down the list by memory. After I done wrote this whole thing, this is my dad, but this is some military stuff. Like, this is what he was on. Like, he was an Army vet and stuff like that. So I don't even know how to sleep late no more because my dad used to wake me up at 7 o'clock in the morning, make me run a half a mile, and come back in the morning, cook me a full breakfast. Like, I don't never eat cereal. I ain't never ate cereal with my dad. Like, cook me a full breakfast, make me work out, run, then I'm going to school. And I really grew up in North Miami. I went to W.J. Bryan, North Miami Middle, North Miami Senior. Like, I'm born and bred right there, you feel me? Like, so everyone that knew me just knew me. And I wasn't even Haitian, so all my friends were Haitian and shit. I used to go to their houses and eat with them. So, like when people, like, growing up, it was like one of those things where, like, I was cool. Like, I like hanging with my Haitian friends. I can't be, my American friends used to get mad. It was just funny to me how that worked out, that dynamic. But it was just normal. Man, it's just, and then the poetry came into place. I don't even.
Yeah, because I would say, like, when did you, because you growing up, the way you grew up, you said you were an athlete, your father, like, kind of guided you in sports, but then were you always a writer, or was there a shift that happened where you one day woke up, you were like?
No, I remember when I started really started dabbling. I was in this program for like for like the troubled youth and whatnot in the Upward Bound program. So they used to bus us to UM. And I had this roommate, Telemark Celestine. I'm gonna put him on blast. I had a roommate and he used to be writing stuff and girls used to be around him and just reading and stuff. And that's what first got me into wanting to write. I was like, I ain't finna get mad. I'm finna join this thing. Whatever he got going on, why our phone keep ringing in the morning, late at night, and they want to hear. I'm like, bro, you writing what? Poems? Like who does that? But listening, and I'm like, okay. I started writing little scenarios and stories and stuff about what was going on with the camp and all this, and it just started going from there. And then fast forward, I'm a senior in high school, and I'm actually still writing at this point, but I have no knowledge of what spoken word poetry is or performance poetry. So I'm in this classroom one day, and a teacher she wasn't my teacher at the time, but she was a teacher at the school, Miss Blue. She caught wind of me writing, and she's like, you should listen to this guy that I heard last night. This is a Friday. I remember it was a Friday. She had just went to Funk Jazz that Thursday and heard Will. She bought his CD and happened to have his CD on her in the classroom. So she popped it in, and I'm listening to it. And bruh, I swear, like right there at that very moment, I was like, what is this? Like, this is like some amazing shit. I'm like, I like this right here. Like, it wasn't rap, and it was poetry, but it didn't sound like poetry for me coming from him. And the things that he was talking about, and I'm like, and she's like, I'm gonna have him come out to the school next week. I'm like, please do. Like, I want to see this right here. The following week, I'm sitting in class. My memory crazy. I'm sitting in Miss Person's class. I'm like, can I go to the library to go check this poet? I just want to see him for about 15, 20 minutes. I'm gonna come right back. She wouldn't let me go. Me being me, I was like, all right. I left the classroom. I walked out the classroom. I'm like, I asked, and I walked out the classroom, walked to the library. Man, here this dude is, gold teeth, standing 6'4" with this afro. I'm like, this the dude that's doing poetry and shit? Because on the album, it's just his eyes, and it's called, the CD was called Verbal Vision. So I'm just like, okay. And then we chopped it up. He was like, you from Overtown? I'm like, damn, I'm from Overtown. I'm like, oh, you do poetry? Like, you do poetry? Like, you just look like you don't do poetry. You look like all my friends, and I know they don't do poetry, And he spoke that day, and I was like, bro, that was it. I was hooked right then. At that very moment, like, something in me shifted. Like, I wasn't thinking about ball as much as I used to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just really wasn't on my mind as much. I was playing, but it was just like, I couldn't wait to stop playing so I could do some writing. I couldn't wait to stop playing so I can, memorize this new poem that I started last week. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I started every day just really writing and really memorizing it and just working the craft. And I didn't think anything of it. It was just something that I just kind of enjoyed and just took a hold of. And my first feature was in Turks and Caicos with Will. Like, I ain't never featured anywhere. And this is before you needed a passport. All I had to do was show my birth certificate. Hell, and I'm 17. I was like, we going where? All right, well, I'm gonna ask my mom. Let me ask my old girl, and let's slide. And she trusted what she loved Will. So she was like, yeah, as long as Will going, you can go.
So wait, so when you met him in the library at the school, how long between that day and the time when you let him hear your first?
Oh, okay. I didn't even get to that part. My first poem was read that same day I met him. So the first time I got pictures of that day too. The first time I ever met Will, I spoke, and the first time I ever spoke in front of people was that day I met Will. And we was just in the library, and I was just, they asked, and I had a book, and they had nothing memorized then, and I read my first piece, spoke in front of people for the very first time that day, in front of classmates and whatnot. And then it was just like, it almost spread like wildfire. Cause then it was like, cause I was the jock, but I was quiet. I didn't talk a lot. And people just kind of got wind of it, but it still was just my little side thing. It's just something that I really enjoyed outside of everything else. This is like my me time. I'm just sitting here and write these stories and pen these poems and just ride.
Did he give you the name, The Youngster?
He did. it was just one particular night, just at the old his first cafe, and he put it on the list, and then it's like he called me to the stage, but he didn't tell me that that's what he was gonna call me. You feel me? So I was just looking around for who that is, and he kind of gave me like the nigga, look, it's you, man, come on. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'll ride with that. And he just took me under his wing, man. Like he took me under his wing, and it was a wrap for me. Like I was his shadow, you know, like everything Will did, I probably was there.
I remember, you know, when Ingrid would talk about Will, or Will would be around, you were all like always there, like flanking him, you know. And again, you know, I'm more like in the cut, not really knowing who anybody is, just kind of like feeling people out and seeing what the poetry scene was like. But yeah, it was like I couldn't think of him and not think of you. That's how it was, you know what I'm saying? And then you know, obviously tragically, you know, we lost him, you know, senseless. But yeah, that's incredible, man. So what was the Turks and Caicos feature like?
Man, some dude out of nowhere, he was from the island, and he happened to show up to Will's spot one night, and he heard me, he heard a dude named Prophet, Rachel Finley, and myself, and Kahish was Kahish with us? I think he was. I don't know, but it was a few of us, and he just was like, I love you guys. I wanna take you to the island. You fucking full of shit. He didn't take me to some fucking island. Oh, I was full of shit, because boy, he sure took us to the island for real. Like, he took us to the island, like, paid for everything. We was on the resort, and I was just like, this ain't never happened before. Like, this was my first time out the country and everything. And it was those type of moments right there. I was like, this is my like first time doing anything to this magnitude. So to be in the island performing in front of these strangers, but because I'm here because someone else that doesn't even know me thought well enough, like, I like this dude, I want him to come with me, you know, to this island, and I'm gonna put him up. I was like, I'm really liking this poetry now. You know what I'm saying? I'm really liking this writing and stuff now. So I was in it, man. I was 10 toes. I was in it. Like, you couldn't tell me nothing. I went for broke for it, you know. And the teacher that introduced me to Will, she gave me my first car. You know, it was, I told you I ain't had no car. They was just driving me around. They was picking me up, taking me to venues. She was taking me, Will, Razor, Larry Dog, everybody was taking me. Larry Dog used to have me at all the little open mics. Like, every open mic Larry Dog was at, I've probably been a part of, showed up, featured and everything. Like, he been looking out for me since that time, because I met him around the time I met Will. Because Will, you know, they was just at these open mics. And just strangely enough, you know how it's like the OGs just took a liking to me. You know what I'm saying? They were like, I'm gonna mess with this young cat right here, and that's just what it was. They just like me. And to this day, they still around. And they remember those days. So I'm grateful. I mean, it was just those moments right there. You know, she gave me my first card. I was starting riding around myself and finding the venues. You know, I'll put gas in, let's go, let's ride. I'm going for broke. I ain't care. It was just something that I just thoroughly enjoyed, like, more than anything.
Larry Dog, man, he's a Miami legend, man.
Hey, you ain't lying.
Tell you, I met him when I first came down in 2008. You know, I had a friend that I knew from FAMU, and she knew I rapped, and she was like, well, you know,
hold on, you went to FAM?
Yeah.
Oh snap! I ain't even know that. That's dope.
You went?
No.
Oh, okay.
Nah, I wouldn't have survived in no school in Florida. No, I went to Benedict. I went to HBCU. I went to Benedict. I went to Benedict.
As a matter of fact, I think my little homie DJ Vibes went to Benedict.
Yeah, that's where I met Vibes at. That's where I met Vibes at. Funniest thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's funny. So
yeah, she was telling me, she was like, you know, it's not really much of a rap scene down here, but there's this show that happens on this event that happens on Miami Beach called Miami Live. You should go check it out. And that was with BB Lewis, Michael Madd used to promote it. So she's like, well, they having a rehearsal. Yeah. Right across. Yep. It was in Santos. Yep.
That's what it was called. Yeah.
So I go there on the rehearsal one day. He's like, well, you got to go audition. I'm like, you know me, I'm coming from New York. Like, the fuck you talking about audition? Like I'm nice. What the fuck you talking about? But I went to the audition in the afternoon, and I walk in there and I meet BB and I meet Michael Madd, and she introduced me like, yeah, this is. She wasn't even Fly Guy. She's like, this is Rassan, my boy Rassan, and he wants to rap, whatever. And they were like, well, listen.
Bruh, you know what? I forget that's your name. So I knew about you before Fly Guy because I've heard Ingrid so many times. I'm the fuck. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm in there and they like, well, let's see what you could do, you know, with the band or whatever. Go, you know, get up on stage. And Larry Dog was the host of that night every Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? And I went, I auditioned, came back later that night, and then I performed every week for like the next 2 months. Every day. And that's how me and Larry's relationship kind of got cemented at that point.
And you said something, Miami Live. I remember that joint because I remember walking over. That's when I first seen, what's her name? Electric Lady, Janelle Monáe. I had a feature at Yucca. It was me, who was on the bill that night? Me, Black Ice, Janelle Monáe.
Damn.
Tell me about it. Damn. Tell me about it. And Black Ice performed first. I performed after that. And then this little lady in this black and white just, I don't know what the hell it was going on, because I ain't never heard of no damn Janelle Monáe at that time. At that time, right. Bruh, she killed the stage. And I'm sitting there like, bruh, like, who was this person? Yeah. And like we went over to Miami Live afterwards. I was like, bruh, I was just like, I remember that Miami Live used to have a lot of people.
That shit was special, man.
It was, man. It really was. It really was. Like joints like that, I really missed. I really miss little spots like that.
I mean, that's the thing.
It was kind of exclusive, but at the same time, it, you know, if you were there for the, you know, performing and for your thing, you knew the right person. You was good. You was all right. Yeah. I liked it.
Yeah, that's kind of was like my introduction to I guess to the scene. It was meeting Ingrid because a friend I went to high school with told me, because I went to Killian, Miami Killian.
Oh, you went down south. Okay.
And she was like, my friend does an open mic, because she knew I rap, and you know, rap, poetry, same thing. She's like, you can go check it out. It was at Cielo in the Grove.
Bruh, I remember Cielo.
Yeah, that's the first time where I met Ingrid, at Cielo's. And then, yeah, that's where I met Johnny Walker Red. That's where I Mark, you know, Selborn, the guys that do.
See, I met them at Ginger Bay.
Oh, okay.
See, I used to perform at Ginger Bay, and that's when Gigi and Kyla had it. Way back then, you feel me? So, like, yeah, wow. Yeah, that's when I met Johnny, because he was the DJ up there. Up there. Yeah,
he was her DJ, and then I guess he grew out of it or phased out, and then, you know, she was like, you want to DJ? Can't really pay you, but I'm like, yeah, I just want to, you know. And then for like 3-4 years, every Wednesday, like with Ingrid, and so that's you, Calvin, Maid, Son, every, like, seeing all y'all come through the Bohemia Room, man. And it was like, yeah.
The little joint, you was at Vlada?
I was at Vlada, yep. Matter of fact, I got a funny Vlada story. First time I ever took a shot of dark liquor, it was a shot of Crown in Vlada, and I almost passed out after I took that shit.
Whiskey.
In Vlada. That's why now drink the shit with ice.
No.
But yeah, I remember. Yeah, Vlada was. Remember Nia Divine performing in Vlada? Like, yeah.
That was the joint. Dang. Okay, you've been around for a minute.
Been around, man. Whether DJing, rapping, or just in the cut, just observing and paying attention to who else is trying to push the culture forward in Miami. And you definitely, like, you know, one of them people. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I just stay in my damn lane and just work it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I be having tunnel vision out here, like, straight up. Like, you know, I always knew that there wasn't no, I can't say there isn't, but it's not like a huge market for like spoken word poetry. So you know, and for the most part, what it is like everyone's doing the same thing. So it's like almost kind of scraping it. But I guess you gotta, as an individual and as an artist, you had to just kind of make your way, make your name in some type of shape or form. You feel me?
Well, see, I was gonna ask you, like, what's your perspective on the Miami poetry scene now as opposed to 10 years ago? Because to me, this shit is almost non-existent.
10 years ago, it was a lot. You know, the culture was deep. It was everyone. It was a lot of different people down here. You know, and people was pushing it forward. You didn't have as many open mics as they were. They were very consistent. The ones that we did have, you know, they were there every week. They were there. I honestly think, though, granted, things don't never stay the same. You know, there will be some changes, but I think once Will was taken from us, that changed everything. That changed me for sure. Like, I definitely wasn't the same. Like, I was I was fucked up after Will was died. Like he was like right there in my face. Like I was 10 feet away from me. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't nothing to mess me up more than him. You know, I lost my father, but Will was the one.
Miami, Florida. Please give it up for Will, the real one.
As I travel backwards through time, I search to rescue all my heroes. And I find myself in the Underground Railroad, standing side by side with Harriet Tubman as she decides whether to go left or right tonight. And as the barking dogs approach from the south, I rub the clothes of 1,000 slaves on my body and I hand her a flashlight. And I run. I run until I get to Jackson, Mississippi, and it's June 11th, 1963, and I'm standing in the bushes with this white man in front of me, and as I peek over his shoulders, I can see what he sees, so I scream, "Medgar, look out!" And from a distant car, I can hear the shouts, "You better run, nigga!" So I run. I run till I get to still 1963, but in Birmingham, Alabama, and I'm peeking through a church basement window at 4 little girls at 4 little worlds, and I notice that I'm standing next to a box, and I can hear the subtle sounds of the tick-tock, so I open it up and cut the red wire to the bottom to make it stop, and I can hear them coming from up the block, and they're screaming, "You better run, nigga!" So I run. I run till I get to the night of February 21st, 1965, and I found myself standing backstage in the Manhattan's Audubon Ballroom, trying to explain to Malcolm that the enemy has sent 4 of his goons, and I explained that, yes, Malcolm, I know a change's gonna come, but it don't have to be this soon. So I took a few of Malcolm's security people, we just went out and cleared the whole motherfucking room, then all of a sudden the CIA showed up screaming, "You better run, nigga!" So I run. I run till I get to April 4th, 1968 in Memphis, Tennessee, and I'm standing in front of the Lorraine Motel with Dr. Martin Luther King, and shots begin to ring. And today I just don't want to lift every voice and sing, so I shoot back. And I cover Dr. King with my own body as we hit the floor, because today this is the only goddamn Jesus that I'm willing to die for. And I can hear that scream from across the street again. "You better run, nigga!" So I run. I run till I find myself standing in the middle of an intersection in Las Vegas, and it's September the 7th, 1996. The day Tupac was being followed by an entourage of eyewitnesses where everybody claimed not to see shit, so I ran alongside the passenger side and pulled Tupac out so Suge Knight was the only motherfucker to get hit. Then I heard that scream again. "You better run, nigga!" So I run. I run so fast in the split second 6 months had passed, only for me to ride back in LA in time left to push Biggie out of the way of the last gun blast. And now I'm lying here with this hot lead in my ass, thinking to myself, oh God, at last, I ain't gotta run no more. I ain't gotta be nobody's nigga no more.
He was the only one that really seen something in me, like, and just was like, "You gonna do this?" Like, I'm acting now. Funny story is, Will was the one, he was like, "I want to be an actor." He wanted to be an actor. Funniest thing, I ain't want to be an actor. He was like, "I don't want to be an actor. I want to do this. I want to start doing movies, but I can't lead a cafe." Like the cafe was his baby. Yeah. He used to tell me how much he wanted to be in movies and shit. And I'm like, "Shit, well, nigga, stop this open mic shit and just do the movies then, bro." He wouldn't leave it. Fast forward, Will's gone. And my guy that was like kind of like my manager at the time, he was like, "You want to start acting?" I was like, "Shit, why not? Let's do it." My first 3-4 films were all student films at Palm Beach College. I used to drive up there, and that was a nice little trip. I used to drive up there and just audition for roles and get them. And after a while, like, they just be like, "Hey, you want to do another one?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, let's do it." Like, stop auditioning, just put them in. But that was my training. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was like, okay, I'm doing poetry still, but I'm gonna try to get these scripts in. I didn't know anything about it, so I really was like leaning on whoever I was working with on set. I was like leaning on them, like, okay, like, I'm following your lead. Like, this is what I'm gonna do. Like, whatever you do, I'm gonna go off the reaction. But those first 3 films, Palm Beach College, and then I don't know what the hell happened. Things just started progressing. The films started getting better. The auditions started coming in, or I was looking for them, because I'm one of those persons. I ain't gonna really do a whole lot of waiting. I'm gonna really just go out there and get it, like, some kind of way. I had met this particular director. I was driving down from Tampa. I get a phone call. He's like, "Hey, we would like for you to audition for such and such role today." I'm like, "Well, I'm on the road. I'm coming back to Miami from Tampa. I had a show up there." I said, "I can be there in 2 hours." I make it. and it was about to leave, but I make it there. I was like, oh, okay, good. And it was for this short film called Avaricious. Now, this was like really one of my, like, you know, this particular short film won awards and whatnot, but I think it was that film, after those other films, it was this film that really made me like, I think I could really, really do this. Like, I could really do this. Then I get a phone call like a year later, and we shoot Kodak Black's Tunnel Vision. And I'm like, I ain't even know it was for Kodak. We just was, I just get a phone call. He was like, you wanna shoot it? It was the same director, Mike Garcia. He hit me up and he was like, can you do this video? That's what he asked me. He said, can you shoot a video this weekend? I'm like, for you? Yeah, let's do it. Like, I was just looking out because it was the homie. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. Right. I get there, Kodak there, and we shoot this amazing ass video that I was like, bro, you sure you want to shoot this video? Cause we burning crosses in Homestead. Like, bitch, you crazy? What's wrong with you? You on fire. Like, we burning whole crosses and got KKK dummies in the air. I'm like, y'all loose, but let's do it. Let's rock. And man, everything just started coming, just falling into place for you, boy. Like, I really just, I don't know how to sit around and just wait for shit. You know, it's just hard for me. After a while, it's just like, man, let me just go do it. Let me go find some kind of way. I remember going to LA. I went to LA to celebrate my birthday, but at the same time I'm working. Two poets by the name of Bird and Lucian, they just so happened to have like real ass interviews with one of the agencies I couldn't get into. I'm like, okay. They hit me up. They were like, we're gonna come out to your show. Fast forward, they ended up getting the jobs. I'm like, hey, y'all working with who? So they're working with Oprah Winfrey and Terrell McCraney and stuff. I'm like, they started writing for, like off the bat, started writing for David Makes Man on Oprah Winfrey's Own. So I ended up auditioning for it. Ended up sending the tape. They liked the tape. They tell me to fly myself to Atlanta. I go to Atlanta, audition in person. They like me. I get back to Miami. They fly me to LA. I'm in LA. I audition in LA for this role of Sky. Now Sky is supposed to be this cat from Miami, from down here. So I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, you don't, not even got, no, I don't never think that shit, cause that'll fuck me up. Cause then I'll be like, I got it, and then I get in there and don't get no email back. No, I don't think that shit. I don't never think I got it. But I do think, or at that particular moment, I was like, you don't get more day than me if this is the guy I gotta go against. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's out of us, I should get it, but I'm gonna definitely do it because this is the process we gotta go through. Yeah. He got it. I was like, fuck. I go home. About a month later, I get an email from the same casting agency. Now, I ain't signed to no one. So when they sent me an audition, I'm like, oh shit, they must have liked me. So they ain't like me for that show, but they like me for this show. Didn't get this one. I'm like, fuck. But I'm good. I'm been told no a million damn times, so I be doing shit. I know I'm getting told no, but I just be trying to figure it out anyway. They sent me an audition for Queen and Slim. I don't know what the fuck. I just seen Lena Waithe, Daniel. I was like, bitch, I'm definitely going. I want this one. I know I want this one. Like, it's a movie. I want this motherfucker right here. I still got the audition tape. I remember auditioning with one of my homeboys. Bro, you know, when I'm big on manifestation. Like, a year prior to worried about an audition with them, I'm on Twitter and I'm like, damn, I want to work with Lena Waithe. It came up, matter of fact, like 3 days ago as a memory. I was like, damn, I want to work with Lena Waithe. In my DMs on IG, I got like probably about 15 messages I've sent to Lena on IG. And this is before before the film ever dropped. But they're still in my DM. I get the script. It's pretty much the same process over time. You know, I get a script from LA, I audition for it. They basically give you 2 days to know your size. Right. It only take me a day. Like, it only take me a couple hours, then I'm ready. But then it takes me like the day to like really nail it, you know. And then I'll go on the day of, it's time to turn it in. I'll usually go in and then tape it. I'll go in there, but I'll tape over and over again. But I try not to do like too many takes, and then I just start giving myself a headache. So I try to do 5 of each things and then just pick out the 5. I send in my audition tape. I sent in the audition tape, and about the same day, they was like, the director likes you. You're the director's choice. This is the same day. I'm like, so whose choice? I was like, no, don't tell me that. Like, cause in my mind, like I already know. Like, if you're the director's choice, you're pretty much in there until you get the studio's approval. That's the thing. You always gotta get the studio's approval.
Okay.
But director's choice, because they're gonna be on set, you know, it's like, well, this is their vision. We're gonna run with it.
Right.
The motherfuckers told me that, and then waited like a week. You know what it is to wait a week to figure out what the hell is gonna go happen. And I wasn't gonna hit them up. I was just like, okay. So I got this old weird fucked up tactic, right? When I want something, like instead of really asking for it, so I sent like these old bogus ass emails from my email that be like an accident, but it be on purpose, just so they can see my name pop up on the screen and be like, hey, we ain't forget about
we forget it. Yeah.
So I did that. The day after I did that, they was like, we want to hire you for the role. Bruh,
damn.
When I tell you, I was like, I kept it to myself for like a week. I didn't tell no one. I was just kind of just sitting in it like, they want to hire me for this role?
Yeah.
So they gave me one role, and then it was like, how about this other role? I'm like, hold on. How about this other role? The other character. I read the character, I was like, fuck. I was like, let's run it. I can be this guy. I can be this guy.
Right.
And bruh, I think that was like, fast forward, once I was hired, and to shoot in New Orleans. That's what we shot at in New Orleans, the whole set. They was in Ohio first. They shot in Ohio, then they traveled to New Orleans. Then, they sent for me. I was in New Orleans for like 2 months, living in a hotel and shit. Bruh, I don't think I've ever been more nervous in my life.
Right, shock.
Ever in my life than to be on set. Like, we sitting here talking, it's me, you, me, Daniel, and old girl. But then there's these cameras right here, and 80 other motherfuckers on the other side of the camera. And I'm like, and they've been shooting all week. They've been shooting all month. And I'm like, and then I'm just, it's basically you coming to set, you coming prepared. Like,
right.
I don't have no line readers, so I was, everything was just me just reading in the hotel room and shit, just going over my things, talking to myself for like hours at a time. But
So wait, so hold up. Day one. Scene 1. They say action. What goes through your mind in that moment?
That not bitch up. Like dead ass. Like I swear, I really talk to myself every day, like, bro, in the mirror, looking at myself like, you better not be a bitch today. You better not fuck up today. Because you from day, like I'm really just talking to myself like, bro, you gotta hold your own. Because honestly, man, like you on there, you on set, they can fire you on set first of all. Like you can just get the fuck fired. Like if you ain't holding your weight, you can get done. So I ain't want that to happen.
Right.
And I had never been in a position at that level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you talking about these award-winning actors, directors, scriptwriter, and
right.
And go throw Bertrand ass in there. Throw this nigga in this motherfucker. I was like, hey, whatever. I'm gonna hold my weight. I'm gonna hold my own, man.
Did you go back and watch yourself at like the full movie, the completed movie when it went?
I didn't see the movie until the premiere in LA, until we walked the red carpet. Like I hadn't seen it. Now we had screenings and whatnot. I just didn't want to see it until like I knew it was going to the red carpet. But I didn't want to see it till we got to the red carpet. I wanted the red carpet to be the first time I ever seen it. So I was watching the movie. I got Snoop Dogg behind me, and goddamn Raphael Sadiq sitting right behind me watching this movie that I'm in. Like, bruh, I was like, you talking about surreal? Like even at the moment, I'm still like, damn, bro, you just did a movie, motherfucker. Like you did it. Like and you about to do some more. But these are the things that I know that I was working for. I always said, like, I was watching an interview, and I had to, apply this to my life. I watched an interview with Jamie Foxx. I don't know, it's one of those. You ever seen, are they interviewing with David Letterman, or they're standing on the stage?
I just told the fucking my next guest needs no introduction shit.
Yeah. Bruh, those interviews are everything. Yeah. And one of my favorites was Jamie Foxx, and it was this segment, and you know, this part where he was talking about his grandmother, because he was raised by his grandmother in Texas, and he was saying how he couldn't understand why she was make him go to church, make him sing, make him learn how to play the piano, put him in sports. He couldn't understand it until he got older. But it was like he was said like she told him that these things are tools for your toolbox. You know, you're gonna need these tools later. You don't need them right now, but you're gonna need them later. So for me, everything that I was doing up until this very moment was just moments to help me, because I don't think I would be able to handle what's happening now 10 years ago. Like with me, and you know, with the attention and the people and all the bullshit, you know, I just don't think I would have been able to like, to, you know, with maturity, like handle it. Yeah. Now I'm kind of, you know, on an even keel, I'm chill, but everything, all the shortcomings and even with Will and my father, just life in general, like everything kind of prepared me for this. Everything Will done showed me was preparing me for this. Everything, like I'm very disciplined because of my father. You know what I'm saying? Like all that military shit, like it's so in me, it's like crazy. Like even if I ain't trying to, it's just there. Like I cannot sleep past 9 o'clock. Like I can go to bed at 7. I'm waking up at fucking 8. Like I'm not going to sleep. Like I'm going to wake up. I'm going to be up all day working, figuring out what the hell happens next. Now it's a little better, you know, with me doing a little better, but you know, I'm grinding. Right. Like it's still a grind. I ain't, you know, that still ain't nothing.
Man, listen, when I forgot what movie I went to see, but the preview, the coming attraction for Queen and Slim came on, and you're in the coming attraction. Bro. And I was like, nah, because my niggas in that shit all. Yo, like it was, I just smiled from ear to ear because I was like, damn.
My phone was blowing up because I wasn't even in town. I was in the hotel room watching the damn Charlo fight. I never forget. I'm watching the Charlo fight, and my phone's on silent because when I'm watching boxing, I don't really be texting. I just want to watch the fights. I watched all the fights. Put my phone. I pick it up. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like I thought something bad happened. Like, oh, there's so many people calling me. Like, you on BET? Bitch, how the fuck I'm on BET? I'm in this hotel room. What you talking about? And it was like, no, you in the movie. I'm like, I know that, but it's like, no, you in the trailer.
Yeah,
They made the trailer. Yeah. And that, I was like, you know what? And I had said like a week before, I said, damn, it'd be dope to make the trailer at least. I had said it to myself.
Manifestation.
Bro, I just didn't. Once I saw the film, I was like, oh, like I had forgot I was in that motherfucker because it's so good. Like I was like, Queen and Slim is like literally a classic. Like it's amazing. But to see yourself up there, like, and just to know like the storyline, like what you started from, and like it's not bad. And I don't have an agent, I don't have a manager, I don't have an agency. Like this is off the strength of me being just a dog out here. You feel me? Like I don't have none of that, no type of backing like that. So I ain't, I'm on my own, like on some shit right here.
Nigga, that's incredible.
You know, so but I'm from Dade, bro. You just grind down here, man, because it's so many people doing, so many of the same things. Like it's just in you to do that. You know, like you put me in Cali, I'm like permanently. Oh, I would probably eat that city up. Uh-huh. But when I was in South Carolina, I had to get the hell from up there. Like, woof, you talking about slow, Jesus. And I was up there for shit, what 10 years, school and stuff. I went to school for everybody. I went enough degrees to start a fire.
I'll tell you something. My older brother, I got 2 older brothers. One of them, he's a screenwriter in Hollywood.
Okay.
And right now he wrote a script for Romeo and Juliet, a remake, but it's not the one that came out in '95 with Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes. Yeah. So he rewrote that, but it's all black cast and it's set in Brooklyn in the '80s with a hip hop undertone. So he wrote it a year ago, sold it.
Spike Lee shit.
It's funny you said that because last week they announced that Spike Lee's gonna direct it. They just announced it last week.
Bro, that major. Bro, that's hell yeah.
So now, like, our family is like, because he wrote a TV show, Twilight Zone with Sanaa Lathan episode. He's done a bunch of shit. But when that fucking article came out and it was like Spike Lee to direct Selman Hines adaptation of Romeo and Juliet, Prince of Cats, whatever, like it was like, oh, so now there's all this sense of pride in our family. Like, I mean, we're always proud of him, obviously, but now it's like, okay, now it's a name attached to it that other motherfuckers know. Like, nah, nigga, my shit about to be directed by Spike Lee. Like, what's good now?
Yeah.
Malcolm X, 25th Hour, Mo Better Blues, Prince of Cats. That's the name of the movie, Prince of Cats. So
That's dope. Big ups to him.
Man.
Hell yeah. When he shooting it?
summer 2020 in Brooklyn.
It be hot as fuck. Brooklyn be hot as hell, bro. New York be hot as hell during the summer. Like, there ain't no breeze out there, just concrete.
But hear me thinking like, damn, let me tell my brother, like, I mean, cause I don't know, all I try to do is connect dots. I never try to promise anybody anything, I never say, but I'm like, if I could be like, my niggas in this, watch this, what you think? Maybe there's a role for him in this.
Man, Queen of Slim.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
And that movie giving me hell though. You ain't see it, so you gotta just see it. When you see it.
I'm going to see it tonight.
Oh yeah, it's
That's why I waited.
No.
That's why that's why I waited. That's why I hope this nigga don't tell me nothing that's gonna spoil, that's gonna be a spoiler. You know what I'm saying?
I had it's so funny. I was just we was just at NBC6 and did an interview up there before we came here. And then we had, we did that. And I'm thinking, I'm like, damn. Like, people really just don't like me right now. This movie, this film, because of the character. I was like, this is some interesting stuff. So you definitely gotta peek. Yeah, you definitely gotta see it though.
I want to know, well, two things. One, I didn't know your father passed, so rest in peace. How old were you when you lost your dad?
I was 25, bro. I was in it was 2010. He was in Alabama, because that's where he was from. I was in South Carolina. Long story short, I just know he one of them cats. When he caught cancer, he died of pancreatic cancer. He didn't tell no one he had it. But once I realized he already had it, I was like, that sound like him. He one of them cats be like, fuck chemo. Like, I'm chemo what? Like, no. Y'all just gonna have to deal with this and y'all be strong, okay? But that was him. And I had to, I drove, like, I think he waited for me, because I literally, I was living in Columbia, and I had to drive. He was 4 hours from me. I drove 4 hours to him. When I got to him, that's when, he really was like, okay, I'm tired, B. I waited, like, I'm tired. Like, he literally told me I'm tired. And I'm there with my sisters and them. And I was like, yeah, I know what's gonna have to happen next. I'm gonna have to be the cord puller around here and deal with this, But I was the one that did that. But my daddy was one of them. My daddy was cool, man. He was just cool. So when he said he was tired, I know he was tired. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just what it was.
That picture over your shoulder is my father, right there.
Yeah, I was looking at that, man. I look just alike, boy. Yeah. Just alike.
He also died of pancreatic cancer.
That's crazy.
When he was
how old was your father?
He was 46.
Damn, my dad was 56.
And my brother right now is 47. So I'm like, sometimes I think about, like, my brother could be dead. You know what I mean? Like, my father, he didn't drink, he didn't smoke. He exercised, relatively regularly, rode bikes and shit like that, and we were very close. Like, me and my dad were like how it sounded like you and yours was, not as far as like the military training and everything like that, but just like the closeness, like my dad was my hero growing up. So that's why Thanksgiving is always a fucked up holiday for me, because I used to play football, and I broke my ankle high school, and I had surgery, and I came out of the hospital Thanksgiving morning, and he went into the hospital Thanksgiving night. So I came out the hospital, went home, we ate Thanksgiving dinner. He got stomach pain, checked into the hospital Thanksgiving night. The next day, they diagnosed him with pancreatic cancer. A year later, he was gone. Wow. So that shit took him quick.
Yeah, it eats away quick. Bro.
And there are very few people, I think, that they can't, number one, they can't relate because they never lost a parent. No, and they don't know what it's like to be close to a parent and then lose them at a young age. I was 15, you were 25, I was still relatively young. So I can identify with that loss that you felt. And, from one man to another who's lost a father, I just want to say rest in peace to your father. And I'm sure he's proud of you and what you're accomplishing in your life, the way hopefully mine is of me.
Yeah, that dude he would have definitely been on the red carpet with me. He wouldn't have missed it. He wouldn't have missed it. He would have been right there with me, like, yeah, let's go, B, come on. That's right. Yeah, but you know what though? It's a sense of pride though, because I'm named after him. So it's like everything I do, it still got his stamp. You know what I'm saying? On it. So
is that why? So why? Because as I met you or knew of you, you were always introduced on stage as the youngster, but then Ingrid just started calling you Bertrand. So what where was that shift?
It's Bertrand.
Bertrand.
Yeah, but
why she
yeah. She already knows. Okay. Yeah, it's Bertrand.
Okay.
But it was me. You know, it wasn't anyone. It was just one day. It was just like I don't want it no more. Like I want my name, and that's it. And I started going up to the list, just signing my name. Just so it just be one of those things that people just get accustomed to, and you know, it done caught on. But people still remember, and the ones that's from that era, they won't ever let it go. So I don't care. It's cool.
My all my life, like growing up, you know, my name is pronounced Rassan. My father named me after a musician, Rassan Roland Kirk. And there's another artist named, they call him Rassan Patterson, but Rassan is really how you say it. But people that I went to school with could never pronounce Rassan, so I allowed them to call me Rassan my whole life up until he died. And then when he died, it was like, nah, fuck that. Now you have to call me Rassan, or you can't address me at all. You know? And people, they try to shorten it. They call, can I call you San? Can I call you Ran? Like, no. You're gonna learn these 2 fucking syllables right here, and you're gonna address me like that, or, you know. So now, this is all obviously pre-DJing and all of that shit. So when it became this whole DJ Fly Guy thing, and 90% of the people I interact with, they only address me as Fly, in my mind, there's a part of me that's like, damn, like, am I true friends only the ones that know me as Rassan, and everyone else is like just associates or acquaintances or whatever? And I kind of like, don't call me Fly Guy. Like, don't call me Fly. Call me Rassan.
Right.
Like,
it's funny because I can tell I know when I've met someone or what era I met them on how they say my name or what they call me. If people call me Miami, they all from South Carolina, Georgia. They from college. Anyone call me Bertrand or something like that, I probably met them, like, for real. I probably knew them since middle school or stuff like that. Like, for real, like that's what it was in middle school. And like, if I hear Bertrand, I know it's some recent stuff. Like, fuck, that shit just sound weird. Like, I really hate that stuff. Like, I'd rather be, oh my God, it get under my skin. I'm like, nah. And my dad never called me. Like, if he called me my full name, it was an ad whooping following, because I was in trouble. Like, yeah, my dad was this big, dark-skinned dude with this deep-ass voice. You know, so I was like, I hear my name, I'm like, he done found out. He done found out. It's about to go down. It's about to be a fight in this house now. Boy, my ass in that belt was it was to be over, man. But yeah, I just know when I done met someone, I'm like, yeah. If I can't remember the face, I'm like, how did they say my name? Like, yeah, I know you. School somewhere. Yeah. It's just always been like that for me.
what's one thing, if you had to say that you're afraid of, what's a fear that you have?
Spiders. That's all I'm scared of. Yeah, I'm scared as fuck of spiders. Yeah. You put a spider next to me, you on your own, boy. You on your own. That's it.
That's always been like, since childhood, that's always been?
With spiders, man. I don't mess with spiders, man. That's all I'm scared of is spiders, man. You know, but on the real tip, I am scared of spiders, but you know, honestly, I got a daughter, she's 7. Like, being a shitty father is like a biggest fear of mine. So not being in her life, like my daughter's my world, you know what I'm saying? So I don't play no games. So that's why I be out here like working hard, cause I just know I just gotta leave something behind for her and be able to do something with her, you know, like all the above. So I go full throttle, cause you know I got a little girl, not even just a child. I got a daughter, you know, that's a girl, and like she'll grow to be a woman one day. So yeah, I be there for her, like through and through.
I feel you. My daughter's 11, so I feel you on that. You know what I mean?
Feel me?
Yeah.
Real. So that's about the only thing, man. That's it. But yeah, keep the spiders though, doc. Dead ass.
Man, from my vantage point, brother, I think you got a bright future ahead of you. You know what I'm saying? And I think you got a lot of blessings coming your way. Congratulations on Queen and Slim. Congratulations on everything that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? From 2008 when I first met you to now, going into the year 2020, I think you're about to do some amazing things, man. And I'm here for the journey. I'm here to see it.
Oh yeah, man. I appreciate you having me, my brother.
And thank you for taking the time to sit and build with me, man. You know what I'm saying?
Bro. I appreciate it.
And we still got to do that song together that we never did.
Yeah, we got to do a few songs together that we never done, man. I think, you know, when the time it hit, it's going to hit. Yeah. That's what I think it is, too. Can't even force it.
Be ready for it.
Nah. Not at all. Not at all.
Back y'all, boogie, having a good time. Make some motherfucking noise for me one time. I told you it's gonna be a special day today. Shout out to the legend DJ Marty Mall who came through, tore shit down earlier. Right now, real quick, before we keep it going, I just want to shout out my brother that's in here with me. This is my man Bertrand Boyd right here. If you happen to see the new movie Queen and Slim, my man is in that movie Queen and Slim. If you haven't seen it yet, you need to go see that shit. Trust me when I tell you, my man is a star in that movie Queen and Slim. Bertrand, wanna say what's up to the people? I know you shy, nigga. Don't be shy, nigga.
Hey, what's going on, Dade County? What's going on? Shout out to y'all.
Dade County's own Bertrand Boyd, Queen and Slim in the building. You did it. You ain't seen that movie yet, go see it. Trust me, I'm telling you. Let go.